7 out of 10 difficulty. Oh my gosh. 1 playthrough. Oh, 70 hours. How far will I go to get my first platinum trophy in a Call of Duty game? Alright, now that that obligatory sniping montage is out of the way, we can actually talk about what we all came here for. In case you just happened to stumble across this video, this is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And hopefully the Black Ops title rings a bell for you, because Treyarch and Activision have made so many of these games that they literally can't use a number after it anymore. They have to give it a second title. Anyways, this game released in 2020, and even though I did play it a little when it came out, and by a little I mean 170 plus hours, I still don't have the platinum trophy for it. So let's go on a journey together into how I completed this game in 2023. And I say completed in quotes because I could grind out the camos, but who wants to see that? No, I'm being serious. I don't want to go back to MW2. Please! Step 1 of this journey should be the most reasonable and logical step, and that is to put in an ungodly amount of time into grinding public multiplayer lobbies. Now luckily for the current version of myself, I was very single when this game came out, so I was able to immediately get the trophies for getting 200 eliminations and winning 50 matches. And since I'm a literal demon in COD, getting a score streak wasn't difficult, which only left me with 2 little grinds. The first for getting 10 squad wipe medals and fire team. But John, the game is so old now. How did you find lobbies? Well, great question. Since the game went free to play to all PlayStation Plus members not too long ago, I was able to find plenty of bot lobbies in this game mode, and a lot of sweaty ones too. Some people just refuse to ever leave the game. I eventually wrapped this up after a few hours of games. Oh yeah, oh there it is, party patrol, let's freaking go dude. 10 squad wipes in fire team. Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for that trophy to pop, praise the Lord. Finally, I needed 100 kills as a driver, pilot, or passenger, so I needed to pretend that this is a different war simulator. And again, not difficult, just needed to find lobbies. And now that I was done playing against actual people, I promise they are actual people that will call you a slur for no reason. It is COD after all. It was time for my next opponent, zombies. Now I will say, of all the recent CODs with zombie modes, this one has to be one of my favorites. It wouldn't be a great zombies mode without... Gotcha. Didn't see that one coming up, did ya? Okay, I promise there won't be another. Or will there? Back in 2020/2021, I found myself putting a ton of time into this mode, even over Warzone. If you don't know about Warzone after the Cold War integration, I have 2 words for you. DMR, Mac 10, meta. Oh, okay, wait, that might be more than 2 words, but you get my point. I'm sure your favorite streamer had an opinion about all this as well.
This update is horrible!
But back to zombies. So I already upgraded quite a few skills and perks, and in my first game back in quite some time, I decided to stay in the starting area for 15 rounds. In the nearby area, I had to get 100 kills while on top of this plane wing, and I crafted my way through some items like it was Minecraft in 2014. I remembered how to get the pack-a-punch machine going. Now this is where things get interesting, because while I do enjoy playing zombies, I honestly kind of hate doing Easter eggs in these games. I know, hot take alert, but they're just so cheesy to me. Like, you believe I'm gonna figure out that I need to pick up a key card from a defeated boss, take it to a random drawer in an underground bunker, switch it out for a remote control, take that remote back to the first bunker above ground, find a crack in a wall where I can use the remote to turn on some device that sucks up zombies, and then tell that device to open the door once it vacuums up enough zombies, just so I can use a so-called wonder weapon? Well, the answer is yes. But that's only because there are people way more unemployed than me who already made some guides on how to do it. Stuff also makes it way too easy to kill the split megatons with 1 shot. With the dive machine in hand, oh hey, isn't that clever? I'm able to do this, which allows me to do that. So I can get this done, and then go retrieve this. So I'm gonna talk to this ghost, go grab this doohickey, complete this task, lure in this guy so we can bring him to life, go hit a few things, initiate a big set piece for the story, and then get the heck out. Did you get all that? If you didn't, the Noah J456 is your guy. It's one of his most viewed videos. Trust me, it's good stuff. So now that zombies is done, it's time to play zombies. Well, kinda. So a lot of Black Ops games have this zombies mode called Dead Ops Arcade, which is basically a top-down twin-stick shooter set in the COD Zombies universe. Your objective in this one? Defeat the mama back, who is mad at you for something you did way back in Black Ops 2 probably. Honestly, I have no idea. All I know is that I need to beat this mode, which I've never done in all my years of playing Black Ops. As you play through this mode, you'll encounter the wild, where stuff happens. You'll encounter dungeons, where stuff happens. And you'll encounter the Room of Fate, where you guessed it, stuff happens. Oh yeah, and you'll gather chickens to be your little sidekicks. Imagine 5 chickens shooting RPGs beside you. That's actually what's happening here. And you're gonna need all that firepower because Dead Ops Arcade is notoriously difficult and heavily RNG based. And I did it solo because I have exactly 0 friends that enjoy this mode, which is honestly kind of a shame. It's a neat concept of a mode, just not really within a Call of Duty game. After a few hours of running around in circles and finding out which pickups do what, I finally make it to the mama back. And I absolutely choke and have to restart.
What is that?
Well, luckily for me, there's a feature I've been using this entire time time called Advanced Start, which starts you at the furthest area you've reached. So I just need to replay a few rounds to fight the mama back again, and I tunnel on her immediately. It's quite the battle, but in the end, I am victorious and save my dear friend, who happens to be a massive chicken. That's it. That's the story on this mode. Riveting stuff, I know. Which leaves me with one final mode to play through, the campaign, aka the reason why my dad still buys this game every other year. If you're familiar with Black Ops campaigns, you know that they are action-packed, absolutely mind-blowing, and always end with a major twist, and this one is no different. I can't believe it's taken me this long to actually just sit me and my squirrel-like attention span down. I know that Black Ops campaigns are way better than Modern Warfare campaigns, and for some silly reason, I played MW2s before this one. Stupid. The campaign begins with some historic footage warning us about the Cold War. It's like they really need to hammer down the fact that they gave this game 2 titles, like people with 2 first names. I mean, it was my good friends, Adler and Woods, where we pound some tequila and open carry our full-length assault rifles. Man, that's a whole level of freedom that we've let our government take away from us. Thanks, Obama. Joke's on me, though. We're in Amsterdam here. I make my way downtown, and no rushing my way through someone's home, and get into a rooftop chase with the target. This bozo that we have the choice of throwing or capturing, and I decide to be the good guy for once. And then hop on a plane for Turkey and find his partner in crime. He disposes of his driver, and Adler gives me the green light to take him down. I line up my shot perfectly and pool. And get this, I hit the guy in front of him. What kind of baloney is that? A firefight ensues, and his plane starts to take off, so I gotta stop him with an RCXD that I pull out of my booty hole, because again, apparently everyone just carried weapons of war on them in the 80s or something. RCXD go boom, plane go boom, and my car go boom. But plot armor exists, and I wake up to Adler executing the target. A man named Perseus comes into play, and I run into our Lord and Savior, Obama. Just kidding, it's some idiot named Ronald Reagan. Can't believe Republicans would vote for an actor for president. After Mr. President gives me the okay to potentially commit some war crimes, I'm thrown into a character creation menu. I give myself the best psychological profile, being a violent survivor, and meet the crew at the safe house, where I initiate the Vietnam flashbacks, which isn't nearly as fun as it sounds. I'm pretty sure this is where the war crimes actually start, but it's okay, because we're stopping communism. And while I do have a moral compass and deeply love the country of Vietnam, seriously, if you ever get the chance to visit, please do. The people and food and scenery are all incredible. Something within me feels the need to unleash every missile I can, because I'm a boy piloting a helicopter in a video game equivalent of a Michael Bay film. What do you want me to do? Not shoot my weapons in a game about shooting weapons? I regretfully mow down my enemies on the way to defending one of our bases and retrieve an actual nuke from the base, which makes me ask some questions in my head, but I'm not going to ask them out loud because it's just Call of Duty will let it slide. After obtaining the nuke box, I'm immediately shot down and I'm forced to defend this nuke while upside down. I fall out, grab an M60, and earn this trophy for getting 5 kills with each of the weapon classes. Our friends drop actual napalm on us, but that doesn't kill us, of course, and all is well. I am then tasked with eliminating a Russian mob boss in East Berlin on some 21 Jump Street stuff. Infiltrate the dealer, find the supplier. Long story short, I need to take down the big guy, but the CIA hasn't been able to find him. So I'm gonna take down his little friend in hopes of drawing out the boss. So check it out. I snoop around the city, use some guy as a meat shield, meet up with a contact, sneak around some more, rescue the contact's friend, because he's a friend, supposedly, and break into the dealer's house. I hit his wife with that sweet, sweet Z-Quill and stumble around in the dark looking for a briefcase, which I eventually find, and it is loaded with pictures of nukes, which the dealer was hiding from me and his wife apparently, so he puts me to sleep. I wake up in a warehouse, staring at the mob boss, and my friends jump through some windows in the ceiling, as this is now a rescue mission. I fight my way through the warehouse and accidentally shoot the boss. Being serious, I meant for him to live, he just scared me when I saw him. At least we got some info out of him. I continue the globetrotting over to Ukraine, where some intel has found a secret base that may be housing a nuke, so the team is sent to check it out. I head in on foot and discover a whole training facility meant to look like a normal US town. I also discover that they are actively running a live fire drill while I'm in the base, so things get spicy in Burger Town. I push through until I find this big guy that's wearing so much armor and can melt me through walls for no particular reason. I put 30 bullets into him, nothing. He puts 3 bullets into me, dead. Ridiculous. More of a tank than the heavy from Team Fortress 2. I eventually slay him and hack into some things, only to find out that this stolen nuke I'm looking for actually belongs to my boss, so it's gonna be an awkward day in the office tomorrow. I pack my things and steal a tank on the way out. I decide to ask my boss if he knows he's missing his favorite nuke, and my coworker punches him in the face, which isn't helpful, man. Come on. But it actually works, and my boss says that this Perseus guy that I mentioned earlier apparently now has access to every nuke across Europe and could blame an attack on America. So, just kidding. That would be really bad, and we don't want that. Specifically, my boss doesn't want that. He could get fired. So the team does some research and finds a dig site at Yamantau, a previous setting from the first Black Ops where something else was being weaponized. The numbers. It is my job to head back there and and steal a computer. Except computers were not small back in the 80s, but I can figure that out later. I sneak around the degrading facility and eventually find the dig site and computer mainframe. Woods and I hook it up to our chopper, and we did. Long story short, Perseus was trying to Google search for more Russian spies, but he deleted his search history before we could see what he found. And the only way for us to learn about Russian spies is the KGB HQ in Moscow. Luckily for me, there's a double agent on my team that can get everyone into the HQ. The double agent meets Secretary Gorbachev and the new head of security that revokes the double agent's access to the basement. I play as the double agent and do some research into how to get everyone into the base. And I settle on using a prisoner to take out a Russian general that happens to still have access to the basement. I swipe his keycard and get the team all set up. Once the team is in the basement and in disguise, it's time to get everyone inside the HQ on the central elevator to the vault, where I fight my way to the vault and tap into the computer there. Once I have the info I need, I blow my way out of the base and make a daring escape. With the names of the spies, the team sets their sight on one particular nuclear scientist. He should lead us right to Perseus. But first, I have some bonus levels to take care of. In preparation for the final mission to take down Perseus, I have to do some detective work, which is basically just a glorified game of Guess Who. But the game is comprised solely of Russian spies. I rat out one of Perseus' top guys and make preparations for the other bonus mission. Before I jump in to take out another top dog, I play a numbers game that, quite frankly, still makes no sense to my brain. Let's ignore this game of use the radio station to guess the password and find the target. I fly out to the beautiful state of Colorado and take out an American helping the commies. Rip traitor. Remember that nuclear scientist we pinpointed earlier? Well, he's in Cuba, so the team decides to pay him a visit. Upon touchdown, just outside of Havana, I find the facility where the scientists are working, only to find out that the army protecting them isn't actually protecting them. We find our disloyal nuclear scientist holding on for dear life, only to find out he gave Perseus access to all the nukes, like for realsies. While waiting for exfil, the team gets ambushed. I did have an AC-130 at my disposal though, but that doesn't help for too long, as the team is at the center of an RPG blast. I have to make a choice on who to save. Park, the brains and comms of the team, or Lazar, I actually don't know what he does, so guess we're taking Park back with us since I can only choose one. Lazar was a good man though. Adler, with his fresh Fila sponsorship, checks me in for the ride of my life, pokes my eyeball, and starts to command memories. This is where the mind has to really get going. Basically, I start to piece together that Adler is controlling all of my memories for the sole purpose of getting a little info out of me. I disobey because even though he can control what I remember, he can't control my actions because this is the land of the free. Granted, I'm strapped to a table, but I still have some choices here. I'll run through some flashbacks to Vietnam, stumble into the lab, and find the main menu from Black Ops 1. Yada yada yada. This is actually a top tier experience, and I recommend experiencing it yourself if you can. Yada yada yada. Adler is still trying to walk me through certain scenarios. I decide to only kinda listen. We see Perseus say something important. Wait, rewind. Remember when I totally didn't whiff that sniper shot earlier in the game, and the game said I hit that one dude in front of the target? Remember how that guy shot his driver and buddy right before them? Well, it turns out the buddy survived, and I am that buddy. Adler just stole me and admitted me into some CIA mind control program. And now that I think about it, this is probably highly illegal and definitely also a war crime, but it's cool because America is doing it. Classic. I get into an argument with Adler because who am I and who are you? And I eventually tell him that I heard Perseus say where he is hiding out, so Adler decides to free me, and we set out to find Perseus. It's now time to nut up or shut up, and I drive face first into a Russian base. I push through the base and clear out some AA guns, only for my friends to, once again, drop a bomb on my toes. There's a cut to Reagan saying they didn't find Perseus, and that he may be a rogue operative. We cut back to Adler helping me up, saying the work is done. We cut again, and get a recap of everything leading up to the final mission and the repercussions of my actions throughout the entire campaign. We cut again to Adler and I enjoying a stogie on the mountainside, overlooking the ocean. It's really a sweet moment, like first date material, until he pulls his gun on me, and I draw mine, and the screen flashes to black. What? Roll credits. Oh boy, what an ending. Ooh, wee. How do these games all involve chasing nukes, only to get turned on by my best friend?
What do you mean by that?
Well, actually though, great story, a lot shorter than I was expecting, which is fine because now I gotta do some trophy cleanup to wrap up this platinum journey. I immediately went back to that last mission to redo the tank/grenade launcher intro, except every time I didn't do it correctly and reloaded the checkpoint, my grenade launcher would glitch out and not work, so I'd have to reload the entire mission, but it's cool, I got it done. Next I did the Yamantau mission again, to kill an enemy with a bow while on a zipline, and to kill 12 enemies using explosive barrels while riding the lift at the end. The trophy was a little weird because the trophy doesn't pop until the last second, and I didn't want the mission to end if I didn't actually complete the objective, but I eventually get it after making myself sweat a little bit. I then go back to the Russian base that has a secret burger town inside and knock down 15 metal targets. I then go back to Vietnam and destroy all of the mortar and vehicle teams attacking the base, and then I attempt to redo the memory trip mission featuring Adler, this time trying to follow his commands because I have to see all the possible outcomes, except I end up not popping the trophy immediately and I'm thrusted into deciding to tell Adler the truth about Perseus' location or not, so I lie to Adler this time and unlock the mission mission for the alternate ending. Now, in this mission, the team sets out to an abandoned Russian base, only to be ambushed by Russians. We all survived another explosion that was no more than a few feet from us, and I turned on the team and joined the Russians in sending these nerds back to the lobby. There's literally a slow-mo every time I take out a team member. It's brutal. I chased after a wounded Adler, and now he wants to talk over a cigarette. But me, being the genius I am and knowing that cigarettes are bad for your long-term health, I decided that a bullet in his mouth would be better for him than some tobacco. Let that be a lesson, kiddos. This is not a threat, just a reminder. Lo and behold, our main man Perseus walks in and I give the launch codes. This scares Mr. Reagan into hiding. The entire operation is burned away, and that's the game. Again, alternate endings are cool, even if one of them is way more grim than the other. Unfortunately for me, I still need that one trophy, so I pushed through the mind control mission again and popped the final trophy I need, and that's the platinum trophy for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. If y'all enjoyed the video, feel free to like it, drop a sub, ring the bell, let me know what I should play next, and thanks for watching. But wait, there's more. Bonus level. I almost forgot. They added DLC. Granted, you don't need to complete the DLC to complete the platinum for this game, but I enjoy the DLC because A, it's free, and B, it's a wonderful zombies expansion. So basically, they added this whole new mode called Onslaught, and there's a whole new world made up of a bunch of smaller worlds, kind of like Transit from Black Ops 2 if you ever played that. You essentially play one round at each location and then move to the next location at the end. It's neat. I played it a bunch back in the day, and that being like a year or two ago. So I quickly got the trophy for killing an elite in each map. I then made sure to kill an elite with a support. And here's where the next grind began. I needed 7 gold chalices, which you unlock for killing a total of 80 elites on a map. And an elite only spawns every 3 or so rounds. So that's about an hour per map, and I only had Nuketown done before this, so I earned some more gold chalices, and that was it. Okay, now we officially have all the trophies for this game. This was actually my first time getting the platinum trophy for a Call of Duty game, which is surprising considering how many hundreds of hours I've put into these games over the past few years. But that's okay. I'm happy grinding platinum trophies for the time being. But actually though, what should I play next?